Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Willits, the Executive Director of Music and Poetry Synchronized, also known as MAPS. And I'm very happy to welcome you here in joining us for this virtual concert that brings the Urban Assembly School for Green Careers, Innovation Diploma Plus, and Pioneer Valley Performing Arts Charter Public School, also known as PVPA, together to provide this amazing collaboration of content, including poetry, music, and art. And we're so excited to be able to bring it your way through YouTube for your enjoyment. It's certainly been a very challenging year as we've had to adjust in many different ways. The students and teachers have done a magnificent job of creating what you're about to see, and at the same time thinking of new ways of working together, of respecting each other, and it's been inspiring to witness all of the work that has gone into making this show possible. So we hope you have a great time. I'm going to turn the mic, so to speak, over to our teachers and let them tell you more specifically about their process. So thanks again to all of our funders. Certainly thanks to the Valley Home Improvement, the Silverman family, who, of course, Jack Silverman has done more MAPS programs through his time when he was at PVPA as anyone, and is now in Nashville earning his living as a musician, and he's actually a board member of MAPS. So we much appreciate their sponsorship in making this happen. So take care.
My name is Felix Rivera, English teacher at UAGC. This is my 8th year working with MAPS and our partners at PVPA. This year posed enormous challenges, but there was a silver lining in the possibilities that virtual media presented. Rahul, Ilana, Tom, Davina Innovations, and myself were able to meet regularly throughout the course of the year to discuss our work, something that we couldn't begin to imagine doing before. Students working virtually were also able to share and implement feedback efficiently. Still, in the midst of the pandemic, we also dealt with, and unfortunately we're still dealing with, a divisive political climate, incidents of excessive and unwarranted use of force by law enforcement across the country. But our poets were able to channel their pain, anxieties, and frustrations over these issues and the pandemic, and beautifully create these diverse works of art, ranging from a poem on dealing with the January 6th Capitol riot to a really heartfelt and intimate piece on family struggles. I want to thank Davina, Rahul, Tom, Ilana for all of their hard work and enthusiasm in putting this show together and throughout the year. Most important, I want to thank our young and gifted student musicians at PVPA for showcasing their talent in their play and their compositions. And I would, of course, like to give a shout out to our poets for stepping up. Palante.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Davina Thrower. I'm the school social worker from Innovation Diploma Plus High School based in New York City. I'm excited. This year was really tough on all of us, but we have the ability to shed the weight that COVID has laid on us. So just want you all to remember, success is not the act of spontaneous combustion. We first got to set ourselves on fire. And that's what we're going to do for you right now. We're going to set ourselves on fire. Have a great show, guys.
Given everything that we've had to go through during this past year, I wanted to make a very brief statement about my love and admiration for my students, the music that they wrote in response to the poems that were sent to us from New York City. A lot of love and respect for the poets, for their process. and specifically wanted to highlight the fact that we were working under some rather unusual constraints over and above those that are familiar to everybody in terms of the pandemic, which I won't go into now because they are simply obstacles that we were able to rise above and give us what I think has become perhaps our finest hour. I have nothing but pride when I think about what it is that these kids went through in order to provide us with what they did. I hope very much that you enjoy the music, that you're able to appreciate what it is that went into making it, the individual processes and challenges that each and every one of us has gone through is definitely a testimony to what you're about to witness. Peace, love, and music.
Wake up and repeat. Waking up, doing my daily routine. Instead of going to school and doing my work at a desk, I'm doing it at home on a computer screen. As the day goes by and I finish my task, I leave my house to meet up with my friends and make sure not to forget my mask. We hang out and then we go back home. Not spending much time in person, so we all chat on the phone. I would have just stayed home in quarantine, but seeing the same walls 24/7 would have made me scream. As it gets late, I go to sleep, wake up, and repeat my daily COVID-19 pandemic routine.
Hello, my name is Talia. Maps was an amazing experience, an opportunity that I got to have. It was really chill and nice and not strict at all, which I really needed this year. The poems were beautiful. It was really touching to read poems of other people who were around my age. And the one I got to focus on, Wake Up and Repeat, was super cleverly worded and really enjoyable and compelling to work with. Also, How Does It Feel, which I also got to do. was just really interesting and super fun to sort of try to capture the vibe that it gave off in music. This is something that I've like never done before, like never done anything close to it. So thank you for this. Really, it was a challenge, but it was really fun and interesting to get to do this. So thank you so much for everything, Maps. This has been really cool.
Go up to the sky, I break free. The stars watch over me, I open my wings and fly into the dream. Poor human being, you forget that everything is temporal, ephemeral. You would like to be fire and be ethereal. I want to be aerial and visit infinite lands. In fact, I want to experience sexual and lovable acts. Touch your thin and majestic skin. Do so many sins that not even God can face us. I finally got a place where I can lay back. With all this knowledge, I can finally transcend space and time.
So how does it feel? Well, you spend years getting to know this one person. Years of falling in love. Years of getting heartbroken by the same person. Years of dealing with that one person only because in your heart and mind, that was the only person you wanted to last forever with. But dealing with the same thing gets tiring. It drains you so much that you end up leaving them regardless of how painful and difficult it is. You leave. Because it's the best way of allowing yourself to live a life without stress or anything disturbing your peace of mind. As the days go by, you learn to live without her. At this point, you have grieved so much that you have become numb to the pain. And the way that her lips once felt is suddenly a faded feeling, as well as the perfume she always wore to see you. As days turn into months, you don't think about her as often as you used to. Until the little things like the portraits she once gave you as a kind gesture stand tall, hanging on the living room wall, remind you of her. Or when you walk by the spot where you guys had your first kiss, reliving the memory that was once so vivid and so exciting. It's not the one that makes you want to avoid going in that direction. You start feeling a lot better when you meet this kind young lady who from the beginning is so attentive. But it's one of those relationships that make you say, it's too good to be true. And in the end, it was too good to be true. The more you guys stay up late talking about what makes you you, the more your heart starts to feel at ease. But the fear of getting heartbroken again never leaves your head. You work through it because the way she smiles and the way she looks at you makes you want to do better for the sake of a future relationship with her. She makes you happy. She makes you become a better person. A day where you guys are casually hanging out, she tells you, you are going to fall in love with me. You get scared because for the past year you have built a wall to
Hi, I'm Lillian Tate. I'm the creator of Safe Spaces and Layers. I'm a junior at UAGC, and here's my poem. Layers. The layer on the outside, the one that everyone sees, the one you wake up and put on, the one that has been equipped to a fake smile, the one others try to break down, the one you are fighting so hard to protect. But this layer isn't the worst of them all. The layer on the inside, the one you can fart and laugh, the one you don't have to walk on eggshells, the one where you can start to share all your hopes and dreams, the one where a hug goodbye starts to get harder. But this layer isn't the worst of them all. The layer on the deep side, the one you start to notice where the tears come to your eyes before they roll upon your cheeks. The one you start to notice what happens when you get angry. The one you start to notice how much easier it is to shut down than talk. But this layer isn't the worst of them all. This layer is the real you, the one with all your flaws, the one with no fake smiles to hide behind, the one with no walls and gates you have to break down to open, the one with all your emotions on display. For you see, this layer isn't the worst of them all, but because there's no one bad layer, they are all you. Thank you.
My name is Isidore, and I turned the poem Layers into a song. I came into the Maps project a little late, so I only had a few available poems to choose from. But Layers stood out to me more than any other poem, even the ones that had already been taken, so I immediately picked it. The complete intensity and rawness of the words really hit me. The repetition of the one caught my attention right away, and the dark tone really drew me in. I initially had a simple melody in my head, but I knew that the power of this poem needed to be matched by equally intense music. Because of the title Layers and the way the poem builds throughout, I knew that the song would continue to grow as it went on. I created a simple outline for the song and then started adding more and more instrumental layers as the song progressed. I actually added the words last. I had created an almost finished instrumental song based on the message of the poem and how it made me feel. Adding the words was the easiest part for me because I had already sculpted the entire song out of the poem's essence. I did my best to match the power of the poem in my song, but it was not an easy feat. I had a ton of fun working on the song, and thank you to the poet who wrote Layers for writing such a raw and moving poem.
Hi, my name is Scarlett Den, and I'm the writer of the poem So-Called Free. I'm a junior in UAGC, and the reason why I decided to write that poem was mainly because I wanted to challenge myself into writing a poem because I'm not really a poem writer. And at the time when I wrote it, it was in a pandemic. Like when the pandemic was really crazy and everything happened with people climbing the Capitol wall and when all of that was happening, and I was really upset about all the events that happened and then how the system is so unfair. So I decided to put my anger on paper but challenge myself at the same time. America, land of the so-called free, the land of opportunities and fair treatment, where white supremacy exists but is denied it is present, where the darker complexions are seen as a threat, harmful, and dangerous. Is it garbage what they see when they look at us? Where blacks are compared to savages, where the same crime committed is given a longer sentence for not being white. So much for equal justice. Man on the ground, begging to grab some air. All I see is red and dead black figures. Pain, suffering, and disgust. America, land of the so-called free. Frightened and cold, one wrong move and a bullet would hit my chest. One wrong move and I would just drop dead. You asked me license and registration. I was doing what you asked and now my kids are crying over my dead body. Are we that scary? How can my skin color make me more dangerous? Help! What world am I actually living in? Tears still form and fall to the ground. I thought we were better than this. My ancestors risked their lives and fought for a change for what? All this shit feels pointless. This world is cold. Peaceful black protest was turned violent by our own fair system of protection. But whites who began a violent riot were able to get into the Capitol. If it were black figures climbing the wall to get inside, they will all fall to the ground and up. One by one. White supremacy exists. White supremacy each day is shown more and more, yet still gets denied it is present. We are not asking to shoot them how you shoot our black people, but to not shoot us how you don't shoot them. America, land of the so-called free. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cameron, and I'm a senior at UAGC. I wrote a poem called Family Love, and it talks about what I feel to be a double standard when it comes to family and the love they show and how it can make you feel. Um, this is my last year in MAPS, and a couple years ago I was given an opportunity that I now look back on, and I'm so grateful that I was given. When I first started, I didn't even think I would still be into poetry, but I've met some incredible teachers and some incredible people along the way that have made me realize that poetry is something that I really do enjoy, and I hope that I do continue this, and I hope that you guys do enjoy the poem that I have written for you guys today. Family love. Does the saying stranger danger ring bells? The phrase is what we say when someone we don't know is scaring us. But what if that person's our own family, trying to scare us, hurt us, tear us down? Does that mean we don't know that person anymore? Are they now the stranger danger I fear? Did you hear? He did it. He's the big shot he aspired to be. Proving his oppressors wrong, he learned to walk on his own 2 feet. How funny it is, he stayed true to himself, showing he's more powerful than family love could ever be. You wanted me to fail. You hoped I would trip. You prayed your words would keep me imprisoned. But I stand tall and break through each link. It's funny I call it family love, but I don't know what family or love really is.
Isn't it funny how life is the same? Whoa. Life is the same, just at different time frames. Life is the same, 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 the
Isn't it funny how COVID mirrors its big brother, the flu, and does the same damage as its dad?
Isn't it funny how life is the same? Life is the same, just at different time frames. The same, the same, the same, the same, the same, the same, the same. The same, the same, the same, the same, the same, the same.
Hi, I'm Lillian Tate, and I am the creator of Safe Spaces and Layers. I'm a junior at UAGC, and Here's my poem, Safe Spaces. Who determines what a safe space is? Safe spaces to me are where I feel comfortable, where I can be vulnerable, where I can let down my guard. Safe spaces give us a chance to get away. This one little place where we're not constantly fighting. The touch of your hand on my body is like an imprint on my skin. A tattoo. It stings yet still lingers. Like a feeling that stays, like an uninvited guest at your party. You're safe here. I replay those words. They take hold of my body. I didn't realize I was suffocating, because looks can be deceiving. Now I question everything I see. You're safe here. I hear my heart beating, my chest pounding. Your face is judging, determining. Your hand is sending warning signs to my brain. Stop, no. Your voice is gripping at my throat, daring me to be silent. My body is growing sick. It's screaming, danger, run. We meet eye to eye. You're searching in mine for my vulnerability.
Progression or aggression? I can't breathe. We are forced to do protest and shit. For what? Just to get hit? Progression or aggression? Why are you following me? Do these words not mean anything to you? Because you still pulled out your gun and said, progression or aggression? You shot me, you shot me. It happened way more than 2 times. I don't know how y'all get away with all these crimes. Progression or aggression? I still don't understand why you shoot when you see a black hand. What are y'all doing to show progression? Still fighting back with aggression?
not alone. The emotional woman combines paper and ink. She writes her thoughts in the kitchen while her tears drop in the kitchen sink. Her life is going in circles, somewhat of a skating rink. This woman is lost, nowhere to go. Her confidence is at an all-time low. We can't see because she keeps her feelings inside so it doesn't show. See, sometimes people like to have their pens talk for them. Others like to be loud and vocal. This woman doesn't talk a lot. You can say she's antisocial. She cuts the cord on media and stays off her mobile, changing her way of thinking and staying hopeful, embracing her problems with her peers that are local. Learns that she's not the only one and everyone goes through this global.
Hello, my name is Ilana Morris, and I'm the program coordinator for Music and Poetry Synchronized. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. Congratulations to the UAGC, IDP, and PVPA students who participated in this year's MAPS program. You all should be very proud of yourselves. And a big thank you to Davina, Felix, and Rahul, the teachers who made the program this year possible. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe to the MAPS YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter.